Good morning, it's me, Nicky Shaw again, and today we're talking about step 5. I admitted to God, to myself, and to another human being the exact nature of my wrongs. So I've done all that, I've wrote down everything in step 4. I've wrote down all my resentments, my defects of character. I've sort of wrote down my fears, harm done to others, and my sex conduct. And now, it's now for me, time to share them with somebody. And I've done that where I am now. I've done that in the Friars, down in Aylesford, in Kent. I'm actually, at the moment, I'm in St Luke's Chapel. And St Luke's Chapel is the patron saint for the hopeless causes. And I sort of resonate with that. So at the time I was an hopeless cause. I don't feel like I'm that today. So I sat down, which was a gentleman who became my sponsor, and all those resentments that I had against places, people, institutions, all the money that I had sort of not paid back that I owed, I told him all about it, told him about my conduct, all the harm I'd done to other people. Not necessarily only physical, I mean mentally harm. I mean, Christ, I mentally tortured many, many people, especially those ones who were nearest and dearest to me, through my actions, absolutely through my actions. They talk about, well, God knows everything anyway, shouldn't that be enough? Well, no, it shouldn't, no. There's nothing more enlightening than to look someone in the eye and tell someone about all the things that you've done. And that person, that sponsor, who I took a long while to find, so wanted to be the right man, that person, he pointed out all my defects, where I've been selfish, self-centered, self-pitying. He also pointed out to me where I've been inconsiderate, where I was a sloth, lazy, everything you could think of, dishonest, and all those things where I thought people had harmed me. Well, where was I to blame in that? And he pointed out where I was to blame, and it was generally always me to blame. You know, I could always find something. And I went back as far as I could remember, all the things. Now look, I've sponsored enough men, and I've heard enough step 5s to realise that certain things happen in childhood. And as a child, you're not to blame for those sort of things. Regardless of how dreadful they are and the guilt that you may have upon yourself. But those two can be sorted out during this step 5. And if additional help is needed, then you can be pointed in the right direction for more counselling, etc. Once I'd done that, this step 5, it was as if the whole weight of the world had come off my shoulders. It talks about later on that I've been reborn, born again. I've become a different person. The burdens of all that worry, all that stress that I was going to take to the grave, I thought, with me. And living a life of absolute, that restlessness, irritable and discontent, that constant worrying about things. And where I was to blame and that really going to happen again. I've seen a lot of people in fellowships that for many years haven't drunk, but have never done this step. And you can always tell them they've got no peace in their life. They're actually filled with worry, depression, troubles, constantly. In fact, not drinking seems to make their life worse, because they haven't cleared the wreckage of the past. Therefore, they've got no medication for themselves. My medication comes from a power greater than myself. I found that to be true myself. Most peace I've ever had in my life has come from doing this step. You hear all the time, I just want peace, I just want peace. Well, if your head's going racing and racing and racing, try and lay on the beach and get peace. You won't. You'll be up, down, up, down, up, down, because your mind is not at rest. I could be in many, many different situations now and find peacefulness, you know. Sometimes it's challenging, of course it's challenging, life's challenging. But clearing your mind of all that wreckage of the past gives you an element of peace. So where that peace I thought would be laying on the beach or just doing nothing, sitting indoors. How long was I? Wow. Peace comes from within and it's not something you can buy in a shop. And so I had to make my inside, my spiritual well-being better. And by doing step 5, clearing the wreckage of the past, seeing where I was to blame, peace entered me. Peace, love, happiness, the ability to see where I'm to blame, and to forgive. Absolutely to forgive. Now, if someone has done me some harm, which that come out in step 5 as well, I had to be able to forgive. And it talks about in the big book, he talks about we have to forgive because they may be not well themselves. They may be ill. They must be suffering. Now, no one goes out to be a nasty person unless they're some sort of psychopath. And even then, they have a mental derangement, so they're not well. So we have to forgive those who have harmed us. And we have to see where we are to blame in the things that we have done. And through that, we true peace. God bless you.